Gentlemen, let me ask you this, have you ever found yourself wanting to connect with a woman on a deeper, more intimate level, but uncertain of how to approach it? We, as Stoic men, are trained to master our emotions, to stay composed, to lead with wisdom and virtue. But when it comes to intimacy, something so personal and delicate, how do we remain grounded while also opening up? Today, my brothers, we're diving into a psychological approach that not only respects Stoic principles but makes requesting intimacy both confident and respectful. What I'm about to share is not your typical dating advice. This is about how we, as men committed to Stoicism, can honor our values while still cultivating closeness. By the end of this video, you'll have a practical, yet deeply Stoic way of inviting intimacy, not by manipulation or force, but by embodying the traits of vulnerability, strength, patience, and emotional intelligence. Let's begin this journey with the mindset that intimacy, like all things in life, is a reflection of how we master ourselves. 1. The balance of vulnerability and strength. Brothers, one of the most misunderstood aspects of masculinity is vulnerability. We're often told that being vulnerable means being weak or losing control. But in Stoicism, vulnerability isn't weakness, it's authenticity. It's having the courage to express our desires while remaining grounded in our principles. Imagine this scenario, you're with a woman and you feel a deep connection. You want to take things to the next level, but there's an inner conflict. What if she says no? What if this changes the dynamic? Those are questions rooted in fear. The real question we should ask ourselves is, how can I communicate my desires in a way that's honest and grounded in virtue? Here's how we can do it: express your feelings calmly and clearly. For instance, say something like, "I've really enjoyed the time we've spent together, and I feel a strong connection with you. I'd like to explore this connection more deeply because I believe it could enhance what we already have." Notice the balance here. You're being direct but not demanding, open but not desperate. This aligns with the Stoic concept of being in control of your emotions while still honoring your truth. Vulnerability doesn't mean losing your strength. It means showing your true self without being attached to the outcome. 2. The Stoic art of patience. One of the greatest virtues we, as Stoic men, cultivate is patience. And nowhere is this more important than in relationships. We live in a fast-paced world where instant gratification is the norm. But when it comes to intimacy, patience is key. Patience, in Stoicism, isn't passive waiting. It's active engagement with the present moment, understanding that everything has its time. After expressing your desire for intimacy, allow her the space to process her feelings. Yes, there may be silence. Yes, it might feel uncomfortable. But in that silence lies power. Gentlemen, when we're patient, we signal emotional maturity and self-control. We show that we're not rushing toward a goal, but that we value the process. By giving her time, we build a foundation of trust. Remember, intimacy is not a race. It's a journey where both parties need to feel ready. 3. Planting the seed of suggestion. Here's where the psychological trick really comes into play, brothers. Instead of directly asking for intimacy, consider planting a suggestion that lets her explore the idea on her own terms. This taps into the Stoic principle of subtle influence, guiding without forcing. You might say something like, "I think getting closer could be a natural progression for us, don't you?" This isn't a demand, it's a subtle nudge. It plants a seed in her mind that she can reflect on in her own time. The beauty of this approach is that it respects her autonomy while allowing her to consider intimacy in a way that feels organic. By doing this, you're not imposing your desires on her. You're inviting her to join you in exploring deeper connection. This is key, my brothers. Allowing her to take ownership of the idea makes her more likely to embrace it. 4. Delayed gratification, the Stoic path to fulfillment. As Stoics, we understand the power of delayed gratification. In a world where immediate rewards are glorified, we stand apart by knowing that the deeper fulfillment comes from waiting for the right moment. This concept applies directly to intimacy. Instead of rushing toward physical closeness, focus on building emotional intimacy first. Share experiences, engage in deep conversations, and create memories that solidify your bond. When intimacy is delayed, it becomes more meaningful because it's built on a solid foundation of mutual respect and emotional depth. Gentlemen, the power in delayed gratification lies in the journey. And as Stoic men, we know that true mastery comes from the ability to resist fleeting pleasures for lasting fulfillment. Alright, my brothers. Let's pause for a moment of reflection, because as Stoics, we know the power of stillness and self-assessment. I want to thank all of you who are part of this Stoic Infinite community. Every like, comment, and share strengthens our shared mission of becoming the best versions of ourselves. If you're new here, I'm glad you've joined us on this path. We're only halfway through our journey of mastering Stoic virtues, and before we continue, let's take a quick break for a message from our supporters. Think of this as a chance to sharpen your mind before we dive deeper into your Stoic transformation. And if you haven't already, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss an opportunity to level up your Stoic discipline. Share this video with a fellow brother, it could be the spark they need. Now, let's return to our Stoic path. 5. Emotional intelligence, the key to connection. Stoicism isn't just about mastering our own emotions, but also about understanding the emotions of others. When you approach intimacy, it's essential to be attuned to her cues. Emotional intelligence means observing her body language, listening to her tone, and responding thoughtfully. If she seems hesitant or unsure, don't push. Instead, acknowledge her feelings and open a space for honest conversation. You might say, "I notice you're a bit quiet. How are you feeling about this?" By showing that you care about her comfort, you create an environment where she feels safe to express herself. This kind of emotional intelligence, my brothers, is rare and incredibly attractive. It demonstrates that we, as Stoic men, are not only in control of ourselves but also deeply considerate of others. 6. Self-control, the mark of a Stoic man. At the heart of Stoicism is self-control, and nowhere is this more crucial than in the realm of intimacy. Being in control of your desires doesn't mean suppressing them, but mastering them. When you approach a woman about intimacy, it should come from a place of genuine connection, not from lust or desperation. Women can sense when a man is in control of himself. This self-control inspires respect and trust. Even if the conversation doesn't go as planned, your ability to remain composed and understanding will set you apart. Remember, my brothers, we are not defined by the outcomes of our actions. We are defined by how we handle them. Whether she says yes or no, your peace of mind should remain intact because, as Stoic men, we are never attached to outcomes. 7. Communicating value. It's about growth, not just gratification. When you request intimacy, it's important to communicate that it's about mutual growth, not just personal pleasure. You're not asking for something from her, you're inviting her to share something with you. For example, you might say, "I believe deepening our connection will help us grow, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually as well." This shifts the conversation from one of physical desire to one of mutual respect and partnership, aligning perfectly with the Stoic principle of seeking the greater good. As Stoic men, we know that every relationship should be built on the foundation of mutual growth, not just fleeting desires. 8. The Stoic response to rejection. Finally, let's address the possibility of rejection, my brothers. Rejection is always a risk when we express our desires, but as Stoic men, we know it's not the end of the world. Rejection is simply an event, it doesn't define our worth or the value of the relationship. If she's not ready or doesn't feel the same way, respond with grace. Say, "I respect your feelings and appreciate your honesty." This demonstrates emotional resilience, another key Stoic trait. Remember, we cannot control others' reactions, but we can always control our response. My brothers, the path to intimacy, connection, and love is not paved with manipulation or shallow tricks. It's a journey of inner mastery, one that calls for the embodiment of Stoic virtues in every facet of our lives. This is not the easy road, but it is the honorable one. True intimacy is about showing up as the best version of yourself, a man who is vulnerable when necessary, but never weak, a man who balances emotional intelligence with unwavering strength. It's about embracing patience when others falter, and displaying self-control when emotions threaten to overwhelm. These are the pillars of the Stoic life, and in mastering them, we not only become better men, but we create space for deeper, more meaningful relationships. As Stoic men, we understand that real strength lies in our ability to remain calm in the face of emotional chaos. When others might act out of insecurity, anger, or fear, we remain grounded in our principles, holding fast to the virtues that define us. Vulnerability doesn't mean oversharing or losing ourselves in the emotions of others. It means being honest, showing compassion, and leading with integrity, while never sacrificing our own dignity or sense of purpose. Patience is the key to enduring the challenges that naturally arise in any relationship, while emotional intelligence allows us to navigate the complexities of human interaction with grace and empathy. And finally, self-control is the virtue that keeps us steady, reminding us that we are responsible for our reactions, not the actions of others. To walk this path is to understand that we cannot control the behavior of others, but we can control how we respond. And that response, brothers, is where the power of the Stoic man resides. In every relationship, whether it's with a partner, a friend, or a colleague, our ability to stay calm, to assess situations with clarity, and to act from a place of virtue sets us apart. We do not seek validation from others, nor do we rely on external approval to feel worthy. Instead, our value is derived from within, from the discipline we practice and the honor we uphold. This is what makes us different. This is what makes us Stoic. Thank you, brothers, for joining me on this journey today. Every conversation we have, every Stoic principle we discuss, helps to reinforce our commitment to living lives of discipline, honor, and virtue. Remember, this is not a solo path. We are a community, Stoic Infinite, a brotherhood of men who are dedicated to becoming the best versions of ourselves. Each time you engage with this message, whether it's through a like, a comment, or a share, you strengthen this community, and you help to spread the message of Stoic wisdom to others who may need it. You are not alone in this journey. There are countless men who walk beside you, committed to the same values, striving to live with purpose, focus, and integrity. If today's message resonated with you, if you found value in these words, I encourage you to subscribe and stay connected with this brotherhood. Your growth is our growth, and together we rise. Share this video with a fellow brother who might need a reminder that the Stoic path, while difficult, is the one that leads to true freedom and fulfillment. We are stronger together, and with each step we take, we push ourselves further along the path of self-mastery. As we part ways for now, remember that the lessons we've discussed today aren't just ideas, they are principles to live by. Each day presents an opportunity to practice patience, to cultivate emotional intelligence, to show restraint when passions flare. And in doing so, we become not only men who are respected by others, but men who respect ourselves. Stay disciplined, stay focused, and stay true to the virtues that make you strong. This path we walk is lifelong, but every moment we spend honing our character brings us closer to becoming the men we aspire to be. And finally, always remember that we are Stoic Infinite. Together we strive, together we grow, and together we become the men the world needs. Strength, honor, and virtue, these are the cornerstones of our journey. Until next time, my brothers, keep walking the Stoic path. We are Stoic Infinite, and we are just getting started.